want to thank you for taking the time to join us here on Polk Place. She is one of my favorite interviews because really, I mean, it's, you ever see that little monkey that you wind up and go, tum, 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 tum. I have to ask one question. She runs through the whole thing. It makes my job easier as the person interviewing. But also, she's very entertaining. That would be Jamie Jamison from the Polk County History Center. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel so good because when I was waiting for my interview, I heard you laughing with someone else, and I got a little jealous.
On you. Hey,
got a little jealous.
Hey, so I got to tell you a funny story. He was telling me, he's like, man, I was nervous about coming in here, so I let my wife we sat at the dinner table last night, and we ran through. She gave me all the questions that she thought I would ask, and she said I aced it, said I did great.
Oh, they must be newly married.
Yeah, like, wow, that's
I'll tell my husband, I'm like, do you want to run through those interview questions? And then we just stare at each other blankly and go, no, too tired.
So, where are we on? Hey, I went running by there the other day.
Yeah?
They look like they're a little bit further down.
They are. So we've got a bunch of windows back in place. Of course, you're still going to see the scaffolding up for a little while because the architect has to sign off on the windows, the county building people have to sign off on the windows, and then we have to sign off on the windows before they're check, 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 and all done. So they're going to leave the scaffolding up until everybody gets their moment. And then, I think we're going to start seeing some scaffolding coming down on the Main Street side of the building next. So we'll have our beautiful facade back. And I can't emphasize enough just how great this company has been with the care and dedication that they've taken, not only in working on the windows, but making sure it's done right and making sure that it's preserved in a manner that is totally reflective of that old architecture and that wonderful history in Polk County.
Yeah, I haven't noticed the change of lights on top of the dome.
They are working in that room right now. So they're up in on the cupola, or as I call it, the cookie jar lid. And they are working on those windows right now. So I think for the interim, we've got the power cut off up there and everything like that because we said, whatever you do, don't mess with our LED lights. We are so proud of those. And it's funny you mentioned that because I know everybody out there is going to freak out, but I started looking at my Christmas calendar yesterday and started noting when I need to start doing, red and green or purple and orange.
We got 4th of July coming up, so that's going to be red, white, and blue, right?
Just calm down, Jamie. Just calm down. Red, white, and blue first, So, but we're still chugging along, and it's every phase has its own unique character to it. So, for example, they are just starting Central Avenue right now, so that one-way street that goes on the east side of the History Center. All of the windows up until then were wood frame windows. Now these ones are metal frame. So it's like they've had to take a whole different approach to going in and doing the preservation work on those. But we're very happy. We're very thankful to the community. Everybody's being so patient. One of the things that we want to make sure is that we get it done right and that it lasts for another 100 years. And so it takes a little bit more time on the front end, but the product in the end is going to be worth it.
With all the construction going on in Bartow, various places, sheriff's office coming down.
Oh, yeah.
New vehicle drop-off center going up. So that's kind of crazy. Got you guys going on over there. Just all kinds of cool things going on.
That's right. We're booming in Bartow. And, I think if you haven't been to Bartow lately, if you come towards the end of the year this year and celebrate Halloween and Christmas with us and all that, you're going to be surprised to see some of the wonderful preservation work and changes that are going on in Bartow. It's such a cute little community.
I got one of the original bricks, talked to the boys doing the construction, broke it into 4 pieces. 4 of my friends worked in that building who are now retired. So when I see them, I'm like, here, man, here's
your piece of brick.
I just thought it was really
It is. It's a good little reminder of where you start and where you're going, and that's everything that I think we do here. When I talk to you and we do at the History Center is to keep those little reminders of where Polk County came from, because we are growing, and we are going to need to introduce to people that unique history that defines what it means to be from Polk County.
Here's what I have noticed: different parts of the sheriff's office coming down easily. But you know what part's it's coming down the hardest?
I've noticed those jail doors up for quite a bit.
Everything that's reinforced, they're like, we're going to deal with this. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to come down.
Yeah, we'll see. And I know that
to
there's
see it.
probably a couple people out there that are, I guess we got to come up with a word for it, Juddophiles or Judd, what do they call it? Swifties, Juddies?
Yeah.
That are Juddies that are really big fans of Sheriff Grady Judd.
What was our girl? She used to work over with you. She was Juddettes. That's what they were. I think that's what they were called. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
But there's probably plenty of Juddettes out there that would pay to have their own piece of the old jail. It's a good United Way fundraiser, probably.
Wow. Yeah, we should.
The county should hire me. Oh, wait, they did.
They already did. You just gave them one for free.
Gave them one for free. I'll expect to see it in my annual evaluation, Lacey. But
team player.
Yes,
so what do we got going on?
So we still have this month coming up in June. We have our architectural tour with Bartholomew. And if you do have questions about the preservation work or you want to see firsthand what's going on in the building, that is your opportunity to come and get that behind the scenes look of the preservation work, what the building looks like, and where we are in putting, as I like to say, Humpty Dumpty back together again, which is where I come in. So I don't know, I don't do too much with the window work or anything. We've got special contractors that do that, but I am on the backside with Murtis and Bart and Shannon putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. And there will be some new exhibits coming when we open back up in July.
So we're going to have a grand reopening, or is it just going to...
We'll probably have a grand reopening. It'll be summertime. We actually, I'm going to be a little coy about it until next month, PGTV. We do have a big event in July.
Okay.
Dealing with our connection to the 10th Judicial Circuit. So more on that to come.
Yeah.
But then also in June, Shannon has her genealogy speaker series. So that is, thriving and going on still virtually. So people can tune in virtually and connect with those genealogy historians and with people from across the nation.
You see, bring you in television-wise, and what do you do? She does this thing called a tease. She doesn't give you all the information. She just gives you enough to make sure that you come back next month. I like how you work, kid.
I do. Well, and I got to make sure that they click and they subscribe.
Right.
And it's true. PGTV, and I'm not just saying this because I'm your favorite guest, but PGTV and the communications team at Polk County, there's so much content and information that is being produced daily here. And it's relevant information that if you're a resident of Polk County, there are things that you're probably like, I wonder why they're doing this, or I wonder what's happening with that. Subscribe to that PGTV channel and you're an insider.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it, I always try and finish this because we have a letter that goes out, email-wise, and the link is always in it. And I always try and finish show to make sure that it goes out with that letter. And I think last month is the first time that I've ever looked at that letter that goes out to the folks. And that is jam-packed with information.
It's
That's
beautiful.
crazy. Brittany does a great job, and the rest of the crew over there. Wow.
Brittany does a fantastic job to format and get all of that content. And it literally has everything that you would want to know about what's happening at the History Center. And I don't think we're not the only ones. There's a couple divisions that do a nice newsletter if you've ever had questions about what's going on with parks or what's going on with the Board of County Commissioners, because they're busy.
Yeah. So that's it for June then, huh?
That's it for June. Yeah. One of the things that I would encourage people to do, school's out, right? Yep. You're sitting at home with your kiddos and the quintessential phrase, I'm bored, and you're trying to think of things to do. I did bring some show and tell.
Yeah, and those are.
Okay.
Those
so
very cool.
The first show and tell is our History and Heritage Guide, which you can pick up at the Polk County History Center. You can pick it up at the Bartow Chamber of Commerce, Lakeland Chamber, Winter Haven Chamber, and the Visitors Outpost out there on Highway 27.
Yep.
And
Which is a cool joint in and of itself.
I know.
Yeah.
They do some cool things out there.
You know what they've got out there? My favorite, what I always buy?
Puppies and kittens?
Honey.
And free orange juice.
Yeah, and free orange juice. Yep.
And the Water Ski Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I mean, we got so much in Polk County, but this goes city by city and kind of walks you through how you could explore the history of that city. And they're kind of grouped together, so Fort Meade, Bartow, Mulberry together, Auburndale, Lake Alfred, Winter Haven together. So you can go on these day adventures, and while we miss you and we're not open, you can still be exploring Polk County history and getting to know our heritage partners like the Lake Wales Museum, the Lakeland Library, all of those different great, wonderful places because we love that you come to visit us, but Bartow is not the only historic location in Polk County. So this is a wonderful resource. And then our other show and tell is from the Florida Humanities Council. This is a walking tour of Bartow that you can do with your, you pop your little your little wireless earbuds in, and you just listen and walk some of the history in Bartow. And then Lake Wales also offers it, and it's called Florida Stories. So you just look up in your app store, wherever you get your apps, and you can download it and enjoy a nice walking tour. Or if it's too hot, just run it through the Bluetooth in your car and do a nice little driving tour. But these are just one of the wonderful ways that you can get involved in Polk County's history outside of the Polk County History Center.
7 in the morning, 10 in the morning, and noon.
That's your walking schedule.
Always my times, I'm out, getting my miles in. And you know what I do when I hear?
What?
7 o'clock in the morning, hear the 7 bells.
Yes.
10 bells, 12 at noon. And I stop and I take a listen as to what's going on. Try and be away from the construction, but in a place where I can hear what's going on, but I can hear the bells, and it reminds me that we are big, but we are so conveniently small.
And it's got to be interesting too how the energy of the city changes across those times. So 7 o'clock is probably nice and peaceful, and 10 o'clock you're hearing that Broadway traffic.
And by noon,
everybody's moving to lunch. So it's one of those wonderful characteristics of being in a small town, but in a big community, and Polk County's one of a kind.
When we get finished with this taping, you gonna give me the inside Iggy on the 10th Judicial, what the surprise is, or are you gonna make me wait?
I don't know. Audience, what should I do? Make them wait? Okay.
All right, let's finish this. I want to find out. All right, we'll see you next month. All right.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continuously thinking of new ways to help Polk County residents experience that history. The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represent our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, the History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. If you need more information about exhibits, events, check them out on the web, polkhistorycenter.org, or give them a call, 863-534-4386. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.